Hi everyone, let's talk about operations of functions. So operations of functions will actually work exactly how you think it will. So if I have f plus g of x, then I'm just going to add together f and g. If I'm subtracting them, then I'm going to subtract f and g. If I'm multiplying them, then I'm going to multiply both of those functions together. And then if I need a quotient, I'm going to divide them. And remember that we can't divide by 0. So this works exactly how you think it would. There are no little tricks or weird things about it. So we want to perform the operation and simplify our answer and then state any domain restrictions, or we're just going to put what the domain is. All right. So I want to take g times h. So g is x squared plus 3x plus 2, and h is x plus 1. Do not leave it like this. You need to multiply it out and combine like terms, okay? All right, so we'll multiply it out. X cubed plus x squared plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 2. Then we'll combine like terms and get x cubed plus 4x squared plus 5x plus 2. There aren't any oh no-nos in here. There's no restrictions on our domain. So the domain is just going to be from negative infinity to positive infinity. On this next one, we want to subtract g minus f. So here's my piece of advice whenever we subtract. You're going to take g, so g was that x squared plus 3x plus 2. And then we're going to subtract all of f. That's square root of 3x minus 2. Now, since the square root of 3x minus 2 is all grouped together, we don't have to worry about distributing out that negative. But if this had been h that I was subtracting, I would need to make sure that I distribute out that negative. So I just want you to get into the habit of when you're subtracting a function, putting parentheses around it. Okay. So we do have an oh no in here, right? I can't take the square root of a negative number. So that means that 3x minus 2 needs to be greater than or equal to 0. So then we'll solve, we'll add 2 on both sides. So 3x needs to be greater than or equal to 2 and divide by 3. So x needs to be greater than or equal to 2/3. So that means I'm starting at 2/3. It's or equal to, so I need a square bracket on it, and x is larger than that, so I'm going off to infinity. Forgot to label that as the domain. Good deal. Now we're finding f plus h. So, oopsies, I shouldn't have gone that far. My bad. Okay, so f comes first. F is that square root of 3x plus 2. And then I'm supposed to add h to the end of that, and h is that x plus 1. So there's nothing I can combine or simplify anymore, so that's my function. Now we have to look for any restrictions. So once again, I have that same square root from earlier, right? So I already did this. You don't have to do it again. We still know that on this one, the domain's going to be the same situation, 2/3 to infinity. Good deal. Now on D, we're going to take h. H is x plus 1 over, and then g is x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now, let's see if we can simplify that at all. All right, so if we factor x squared plus 3x plus 2, we're going to end up with x plus 1, x plus 2, right? Okay, so technically what's going to happen right now is these guys are going to divide away. So I'm just left with 1 over x plus 2 when I simplify. But here's something that's kind of tricky. When I go and I look for my domain restrictions, I don't look at what I had afterwards. I'm going to look at the domain of this original guy. Okay. All So we already factored that, so we know that x plus 1 and times x plus 2 cannot be equal to 0. So x plus 1 can't be equal to 0, so that means x can't be equal to negative 1. X plus 2 cannot be equal to 0, so that means x cannot be equal to negative 2. So then to write out that domain, we've got from negative infinity until negative 2, and then we'll union, and then we'll start back off at negative 2, and then I have values until negative 1, and then we'll skip over negative 1 and go till infinity. Ooh, got a little squished there. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Go ahead and let me move my face for a minute. Woo! Go ahead and try those 4 on your own. Remember to state your domain restrictions. All right, so on that first one, you multiplied g and h together, and after you simplified, you got x cubed plus 7x squared plus 16x plus 12. There's no restrictions on that domain, so we have everything from negative infinity to positive infinity. On b, you subtracted f minus h, so you made sure to distribute that negative out to h, and we ended up with negative 3x plus 1. There's no restrictions on there, so our domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. On C, we added f and g together, so after we combine like terms, we end up with x squared plus 3x plus 9. There's no restrictions on that domain, so we have everything from negative infinity to positive infinity. And then over there on D, so remember, we have to look at the original to look at any restrictions. So we know that our denominator cannot be equal to 0, so we know that x cannot be equal to negative 2. Forgot to put the domain part up here. So I have everything from negative infinity to negative 2, union negative 2 to infinity. But we also know that if we factor that numerator, we can divide out the numerator and the denominator, and we just end up with x plus 3 after we simplify. All right, see you guys later.